first to turn the hearing aids back on, because for the next few minutes they will be in pairing mode. Then we can go ahead and click on next step. It is now searching for my hearing aids, and after a few seconds here, it's going to detect them and it's going to ask me to pair them. And there we go, those are my hearing aids. So I will click on yes, and I will click on pair, and you can see that it's pulling all of the data from the hearing aids into the app and into the phone to establish the full connection with the phone. You do not have to go into the settings of the phone to do any extra connections there. And we will go ahead and click on continue. And there you go, it's as simple as that. We are now inside of the app, and I'm going to go ahead and do a screen capture for all of this as I walk you through it, but I'm going to go ahead and take you through it right now. So the first thing to pay attention to is the menu along the bottom here. So we have the sound tab, which is more of your remote control screen. We have the hearing aid tab that gives you some other information, and then the more tab that allows you to enable certain features as well. So for right now, we're going to start with the main tab, which is the sound tab. At the very top, you can see that we are in our general program, and we have a couple of caret menu options here. So there's actually the drop down option here where we can see all of the different programs that we have access to, and these are all the programs that your hearing care professional would program inside of your hearing aids for you and potentially adjust them in different ways for different situations. You will also see your accessories inside of here if you have an accessory like a TV adapter, an EduMic, or remote mic, and you can actually tap onto any one of these programs that you want to inside of this menu, and it will go ahead and enable it for you. Now that you know how to adjust it there, you can also adjust it by hitting the arrows on the left and right hand side. So you can go forward and back between all of those different programs if you find that to be easier. So when you're in a streaming accessory like a Connect clip, for instance, you have different adjustments for streaming settings and surrounding settings. So you can actually adjust your microphone volume on your hearing aids different than what you can adjust the streaming volume coming in from the accessory. So that's why you get two different options here on this screen, whereas you do not get it inside of your general screen. So now that you know how to adjust the different programs, let me go and show you how to adjust the volume and different things you can do here. So just like you saw me show you a second earlier, you have a way to increase the volume and decrease the volume by either clicking on the plus and minus, or you can just use your finger to drag up and down on that. That seems to be pretty easy. 0 is where your hearing care professional has you program that inside of their software, and then the range that you get is also set up by your hearing care professional. So I have this set up to be able to allow me to go +4 or -8 and down to mute, but I'm going to go ahead and put it back to 0. Now, you can either put it into mute by dragging all the way down to the bottom, or you can actually go and click the mute button down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and tap it again if you want to bring the volume back up, and I'm going to put it back to 0. You can also split left and right ears. So you have this button right here where you split the ears out. I tend to recommend that people keep their ears connected to where when you adjust one of them, it adjusts both of them. But right now, if you want to split them out and adjust one ear louder than the other, you can go ahead and do that. Right below the volume option here is an equalizer. Now this is for your sound equalizer for your environmental sounds. So if you want to have, less low frequency, more mids, and less treble, you can go ahead and adjust that inside of here. Now it's important to understand that these adjustments will stay once you've made them until you hit restore default. So even if I exit out of this, I switch over to the speech and noise program, you can see here if I click the equalizer, that's flat across the screen here. But now if I go back to the general program, you can see that that's lit up, meaning that I've made some adjustments inside of it. If I tap on it again, it holds those same adjustments, and that's true whether or not you have your hearing aids in your ears or whether you put them in the charger and pull them back out of the charger the next day. That is going to hold inside of the app here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Restore Default here, because that's at my prescription. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the X there. Now we have the speech booster button down here. So speech booster basically boosts the speech coming from in front of you and suppresses sounds coming from behind you and next to you. I haven't had a whole lot of patients say that they've noticed a lot of benefit from this particular speech booster feature, but if you want to try it out, try it out. And when you're doing it, make sure that you click on the do not show this screen again, otherwise it makes you double toggle every single time you want to use speech booster. So if I click on that now, I can either have it on, turn it off, turn it back on just by tapping the button without having to toggle it back on. And then you also have a streaming equalizer inside of here as well. Again, this would be sound coming from the phone into your hearing aids, whether you're listening to a podcast, music, what have you, that adjusts those settings there. Now, these settings also will hold inside of there until you hit on restore default. Your hearing care professional again can adjust some of the equalizer settings for you for how much bass, mids, and treble you're getting. Also the amount of sound that you're getting from around you while you're streaming versus getting from the stream itself. So just make sure that you ask them to set that up for you initially with what your preferences are, and then you can customize it further inside of the app. That is pretty much all you have inside of the sound screen, which I actually really like. I do not like when apps have a lot of complex ways to manipulate and save new programs and all of that. That can be very confusing for a lot of hearing aid users. But if you're someone who's overly technical and you want to be able to manipulate little things and save programs, then this is not the best app for you. So let's go ahead and go from the sound tab over to the hearing aid tab here at the bottom. And you can see that we have a percentage of battery life that's remaining inside of the hearing aids, and you can also see the amount of time remaining in hours. So it's saying that my left hearing aid has 22 hours of battery life remaining and my right hearing aid has 23 hours of battery life remaining. If you happen to lose one of your or both of your hearing aids, you can click on the Find My Hearing Aids feature, which is really cool because it tells you the last known location of your hearing aids, and it even gives you the address that you left your hearing aids. And it will tell you if you're still now connected with the devices, so they're somewhere around you and in connection with your phone, or if it was last seen like yesterday. And then it can even tell you if you're very near, which we are clearly very near to the hearing aids, or if you're really far away from the hearing aids. So really nice feature there. I like how Oticon does their Find My Hearing Aid feature. Then if we scroll down a little bit further, you can see that we have a hearing aid updates option here inside the app. Now you can get some updates to the app and to the hearing aids through this particular part of the app, but it's very important to understand that a lot of the firmware updates that you would get with these hearing aids would be something that you would need to go into your hearing care professional to get, because you have to be in their office to do that firmware update. You cannot do all of the updates remotely. So let's go ahead and hit the back button there. We're going to go down to hearing aid settings. There's a lot of different settings here. You can set up your battery notification settings for